Okay, sleep terrors. Don't get this confused with nightmares. The way to remember it, you have no memory of the event. You'll hear about parents, talking about their kids just screaming in the middle of the night, and the kids say, I have no memory of this. That'll differentiate it, of course, from nightmares. They'll also ask you, when does it happen? During REM or non-REM? Sleep terrors, non-REM. Nightmares, REM. Alright. Nighttime bedwetting. Person has to be greater than 5 years old. If it's a 3-year-old, you don't worry about it. Okay. So what's the first thing? Behavior modification. You don't have them drink a bunch of water before bed. Second thing, bedwetting alarm. Every time the bed gets wet, there's a giant buzz, wakes them up, eventually will kick them with a habit. Finally, you would give them desmopressin. But that's after you would try these things. Okay. Narcolepsy. Excessive daytime sleepiness when you're already well rested. Now this is different from someone with sleep apnea, where they never feel well rested after a night's sleep. Right? And they always have headaches or something. Someone with narcolepsy, always well rested, keeps falling asleep. Remember, on the question, they're gonna say, I just keep falling asleep and I keep seeing things like bunnies or something before I go to bed. Hypnagogic. Huge, huge, huge. And you lose all your muscle tone from strong emotional stimulus. Laughter is one. Another big one that I've seen in questions is fear. Alright, you have someone who already has kind of a sleep disorder, and you're not sure if it's sleep apnea, if it's something else, maybe. And then all of a sudden they'll say they went to a haunted house and they just, boom, fell down. Treat good sleep hygiene and stimulants. Substance use disorder. It'll be obvious on step 1 what it is. And they also have stuff like this for CS. You have to be able to recognize, hey, everything was going well at school and now it's not so much. Hey, I had to change my friend group. I'm not interested in doing the things that I used to like doing. Don't get it confused with depression, though. Okay. And then you start doing things in order to get the substance that you want. Maybe you start stealing. Maybe you start beating people to get stuff. Maybe you start doing sexual things that you wouldn't otherwise do. And although I don't particularly like this whole thing, because it's pretty straightforward, I've seen a lot of questions on it. So let's go through one. They always ask you about someone who has alcoholism, an alcoholic. So let's go through steps 1 through 6. Pre-contemplation. It's where you have an intervention or something and they say, hey Joe, you have a problem. And Joe's like, no I don't. And he gets up and leaves. Alright, contemplation is, everyone says, hey Joe, you have a problem. And Joe says, yeah I do, but I'll deal with it after I graduate from law school. Okay, step 3. People sit him down and they say, hey Joe, you've got a problem. He's like, yeah, I think I'm going to stop drinking now. I'm going to stop drinking this week. Monday's the day. Alright. Step 4. Hey Joe, you have a drinking problem. Yep. In fact, I'm not going to drink anymore. Today's the first day. Maintenance. 5. Joe, you got a drinking problem? Well, I haven't had a drink in 2 years. Fantastic. 6. Whoa, Joe, you're on the wagon or off the wagon or whatever. Yep. And then you start back. However, you don't necessarily start back at 1. You can go back for 3, saying, here's what I'm going to do different this time. Big difference here, big thing here is how to treat enuresis. You don't go nuts immediately with desmopressin. Behavior modification. They love nighttime fluid restriction. And then bedwetting alarm. Sleep terrors, you have no memory. Nightmares, you do. Sleep terrors, non-REM. Nightmares, REM. Narcolepsy, you're always well rested. You're always well rested. When you awake, of course. It'll differentiate it from things like apnea.